Yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in this Friday night. And we have lots of stuff to unravel in this particular session. We have lots of stuff prepared for you, from the basics of how you can start your technical journey, how technical writing journey from absolute scratch. Or even if you are a good technical writer, or even if you are a technical writer, you can use this workshop as a medium to boost your technical writing journey. So yeah, I'll start the session from the very basics. Even if you are a beginner, it's good, and even if you are advanced, or you have knowledge about technical writing, then this workshop is good fit for you. So I'll be covering from the scratch to the advanced level. So I'll be talking about lots of um, how you can structure your article, what are the guidelines that you need to create your article, and what are the hacks that you can use to boost your article. And not only that, I'll be sharing you lots of awesome tools that I use frequently, to write my article in general. So yeah, let's start from the very basics. So, who and what is actually a technical writer? So, technical writer is someone who can break down the complicated concept into an easy to understandable manner. So, think of it as in someone who can break down the complex information and chunk it up into a really easy to understandable manner. So there are lots of skills that you need to be a good technical writer, but I'll be outlining four of the main skills that you might need to be a good technical writer. So first skill is you need to have a basic knowledge and understanding of certain tech stacks. The second one is you need to be able to write, of course, and the third one is organizational skills, and the fourth one is be a detective, a researcher. Yeah, so I'll walk you through all these skills step by step. So first one is knowledge of a certain tech stacks. So what it means is that you need to, if you are planning to be a technical writer, or if you are a technical writer, you need to have a basic understanding of what you are trying to express to the readers. So you need to, it's not an reserved for certain kind of a certain group of people. For example, like in CS graduates, or it's this is not the field only for CS graduate students, engineering students, um, or people with a degree. However, you need to have a basic knowledge and understanding of what you are trying to explain, of what you are trying to write down. So you need to have a basic understanding and knowledge of certain tech stacks. You need to have a basic knowledge and understanding of certain technical or programming language. You need to have a basic knowledge and understanding of how you can break down the complex concept into an easily understandable manner. So I have lots of stuff. I have lots of resources prepared for you that I would love to share with you. So I will share you right after this explanation of all these skills. So the second skill, you need to have a basic knowledge and understanding of a basic writing ability. So to become a good technical writer, you need to be able to write. It's an obvious, a no-brainer. But the thing is that you need to able to not only write it up, you need to be able to chunk the complex concept, the complex information into an easily understandable manner. So, for example, and this particular writing ability skill is not only limited to technical writer or writer in general. This skill is mandatory for developers and programmers, because they need to able to um, express, or they need to able to document their code base, because if you want your project, for example, if you want if you want your project to reach larger audiences, you need to be able to express what is happening behind the scene. So you need to be able to write stuff. If you are a programmer or developer, you need to be able to write uh, what is going behind the scene of the project that you created. So this particular skill is not only limited for the technical writer only. And the next skill is organizational skills. So organizational skill is also not only limited to technical writer. It's it's in life in general. You need to organize stuff. So organizational skills, you need to be able to organize how much time it took you to write a certain article from start to end. You need to analyze what it took, what the time it took for you to research on that particular topic, what time it took for you to write on that particular topic, and what time it took you to review that particular article. So you need to analyze the entire stuff. You need to try to note it down. So for that, on your next article, you can improve it, step by step process. It's a step by step process. So on the fourth scale is be a detective. So what I meant by that is you need to be able to research more. So I want to explicitly say you that the technical writing field is not only about writing. So let's say on a scale of 100, this particular field is 70% of research, and the remaining 30% of it is writing it down and the reviewing process. And that 30% you need to chunk it down into two part as well. 15% you need to categorize into, um, you need to just jot your as- process, your thinking process. You need to just vomit it out what you just have researched on. And the remaining 15% is about reviewing, revamping, and just fixing up the article. So 70% research, you need to do an extensive research. You need to, let's say you are planning to write on certain stacks of technology, so you need to have a basic understanding of that particular technology. So the best way to gain to learn about certain stack of technology is to head over to the documentation first. So you need to learn what that particular project is trying to express, what that particular project is trying to solve. So you need to understand that, and only after that you can jump into the blogging platforms such as Dev2, Aviyel, Hasnode, and all the other stuff, all the other platforms. And you need to learn about what other technical writer are expressing. You need to uh, learn from the documentation and then proceed to the blogging platforms. Yeah, that's the main basics of technical writing journey. Now I will start with how you can master the. I'll be covering lots of stuff from how you can structure your article, the outlining bit, and uh, what kind of grammar should you use to make your article stand out from others. So yeah, the basic stuff is done. We covered basic stuff. Now uh, let's just move into a bit uh, intermediate stuff. So yeah, now try to use more simple words in your article. Make your article bit comprehensible to non-technical user. And let's say if you are planning to write your article and um let's say if you are planning to write an article, but it's filled with jargons and filled with complex concept, then the readers might not be able to or readers might not be able to comprehend that stuff, and they might just drop from your article. So try to use simple words, make your article really very straightforward and really very simple. And on the grammar side, try to use, if you are planning to let's say if you are planning to write a long article, if you are planning to write an article, use either active voice or passive voice. Just keep your consistency, don't mix it up, your active voice with passive voice. If you are planning to write with active voice only, use active voice only. If you are planning to write with passive voice only, use passive voice only. Don't jumble up with both active and passive voice, because the use of the passive voice, I mean, you have to use the passive voice when you want to emphasize certain person things, uh, or the things that have been acted upon, and you can use the active voice if you want to emphasize the action itself. So try to use more declarative or straightforward answers. Try to be more declarative, be straightforward. Just use simple word. Don't try to use more jargons. And yeah, keep your sentence very simple and concise. That's the main bit of technical writing. Very very simple and concise. Avoid any jargons and try to use second person. And after that, you need to include more visuals, illustrations, graphic, gifs. Try to add those as well, because if you add those graphics, visuals, content more, then the article might look more interesting. Uh, so you might get more viewers, you might get more views if you add more visuals on your article. So try to add more um, gifs, images, and memes. If you can add more memes, you can make your article more interesting as well. But don't try to add any random memes. Try to add the memes that does actually make sense. So yeah, visual is very important. And now, table of content and index. Table of content and index is necessary if you want to add in your article, because it gives the readers, um, it will help the reader to organize, to help jump into certain section if they are having any problems on certain topics. So try to add index or table of content. But glossary, it's not mandatory on the article, but it is necessary on the, if you are planning to write a paper, it is necessary to add the glossary, because you need to describe a definition and explanation of certain jargons words. So glossary might be important if you are planning to write some papers. Yeah, but for the articles, it's not necessary. You can add index if you want, to make your article more stand out from um, other articles. I mean, make your article more genuine, good looking. Yeah. And the other thing is proofreading. You need to proofread your article before you even publish it. Now, the common mistakes in technical writing is using the wrong words, using the wrong tense, and the incorrect use of the pronouns. So, try to use appropriate words, and try to use right tense. And also remember that you should never include any past tense verbs like was, will be. Instead, always use the present or the future tense when referring to the things that are currently happening. So try to avoid was and will be. Try instead always use present or the future tense when referring to the things that are happening currently. And the pronouns. Um, Make sure you use the correct pronouns. That's it. And the other thing is you need to avoid jargons. Try to avoid jargons. And even if you have to include on your article, explain it. Just give a short description of that particular words, or give a short description of that particular jargon word. And finally, there are lots of tools you can use to boost up your article. I'll be sharing you in 1 minute. First, I'll just go through the entire stuff. And one thing you need to remember is that you need to think globally and act locally. What I meant by that is try to write your article with an international audience in your mind, uh, because it's an internet, so anyone from everywhere can read your article. So try to avoid writing slangs, buzzwords, and jargon terms. So yeah, try to make your text more accessible to non-native English speakers. And the last thing I want to discuss is about the KISS principle. Um, KISS simply means keep it simple, stupid. So what is meant by that is keep your article very simple. Don't try to make any assumption on you about your audiences based on demographics or any educational levels, and try to use more declarative sentences. For example, sentences that is straightforward, which states the facts, and avoid any jargons, avoid any slang words, avoid any idioms, avoid any buzzwords, and try to break chunk down the complex concept into a simple and easily readable manner, and use more headings, paragraph, bullets, and stuff like that. So I'll be covering the structure and the outline in a bit. So let me take a look at the chat if you have any questions. Okay, wait, we have a question. I've learned that in passive voice, there are more chances the main information is lost, and try to write an active voice as much as you. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, active voice more emphasizes on the action itself. So, if you can, what I meant by that is it. If you are able to write the article in an active voice, then it's a plus point. You can write it in a passive voice as well, but the thing is that uh, active voice makes your article more, it emphasizes more on the action, so it's more like an declarative stuff. So it goes straight through the point of what you are planning to explain, or what you are trying to explain it. So I hope that answers your question. Yep. If you no, it is very recommendable that you use active voice throughout your article instead of passive voice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's continue to the next bit. Okay. I have created a few guidelines I would love to see with you. Let me share my screen. Okay, here are the outlines uh, for you to make your articles more SEO centric. More, I'll cover all the outlines that you need to write a perfect article. But before that, I will explain a bit more about SEO stuff. So, article heading, keep your heading uh, and not don't try to exceed more than 8 words or 60 character max. Try to be very concise and try to express what your article is, or what your article will going to be will look like. So your heading should be very concise and precise. So try to make that heading very meaningful. An article description is just an meta description of your article. So summarize your article within 30 to 35 words. Summarize your entire stuff and don't try to copy the exact stuff from your introduction. Try to make it more 30 to 35 words. Summarize your entire article. Yeah, that's the that's the way you can make your article more stand out from other articles. And images, uh, to make your images more SEO centric, you need to add alt text. If you can add your alt text and make it more keyword optimized, then it would be very good. And then next stuff is internal and external linking of an article. And always remember that don't try to link your article. For example, like if you want to learn more, click here. Don't try to link it up like that, because it looks like a vague. So the people or the readers might not click on that particular link. So you need to cram the entire the link that you're planning to refer to. You need to cram that up in a sentence, a meaningful sentence. So don't try to link it up as click here to learn more, stuff like that. You don't try to link it up like that. And the fourth one is optimizing the content. Let's say if you are planning to write an article, don't try to exceed the headings, um, S2 and S3 headings, more than, let's say, 10 to 15 times. Just make it more organized. Keep it below 10. If you want to add sub headings, keep it below the 10 radars. So don't try to exceed more than, let's say, 10 to 15 max. And always be very precise on the heading bit, because you have to explain, you need to cover the entire paragraph on what we are planning to explain on that heading itself. So be very precise. And yeah, that's the main stuff. I'll share you the guidelines as well. I'll share you the draft. Give me 1 second. I prepared one draft for you. Here are the roadmaps and the tools. So these are the stacks. If you want, if you are a beginner and if you want to learn about certain tech stacks, or learn about certain technologies, or learn about certain programming language, then these are the roadmaps. If you have heard about Kunwal Kushwaha, he created in one community classroom roadmap. You can check out that stuff, you learn about that stuff, or you can check out the roadmap.sh and refine your skills as well. And for the graphic, okay, let's jump into the tools that I frequently use to make my article uh, more bright, let's say, make my article more stand out from other articles. So the tools that I use is Excalidraw and TLDraw. These are both open source tools. You can use it to add visuals and graphics to your article. And for the media tools, you can use Adobe It's an Photoshop, online Photoshop, free. It's a free tool. You can check it out, that tool as well, and also Canva if you want to add, if you want to create a drag and drop feature, or drag and drop. You can drag and drop and lots of stuff, lots of graphics that are freely available to use. And on the conversion tools, you can use these tools. And for the grammar tools, let's jump into the grammar tools. So these tools will make your article more, it will make your life more easy. Not your article only, it will make your life easy. So these are the tools that I use frequently. And the tool which I use 95% of my time is Hemingway app. This particular tool saved me a ton, because this is a very nice tool. It will highlight all the mistakes, all the grammar stuff. It will basically guide you um, on writing article. So the readability grade, it is graded upon how your article looks like. So if your grade is below 9, as in 1 to 9 scale, then your article is good. If your article grade is between 9 and 10, then it is considered as an okay. But if your grade exceeds 10, then it's a chaos level. You need to revamp entire stuff. There is a guideline, there is a warning. You can use this tool to make your article awesome. So make sure you use this tool frequently. It will not only help you to boost your let's say article uh, quality, it will help you in your life in general, because these are the very helpful tools. So yeah, check out the draft that I've shared you on the public channel. Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed to article writing guide references. So, if you have ever, if you have ever, mm, if you've ever watched, if you have ever um, looked into the platform like Hashnote, Tape2, and Aviyel, then you may have seen that there are three different kinds of articles there are there. So first one is ultimate guide article. Second one is a case study articles, and the third one is like an a listicle, which is also known as list article. So ultimate guide articles are the articles which which the title usually starts with what is, who, which, how to, can, will, are, when, and why. So these are the article that is considered as an ultimate guide article. So if you are planning to write, let's say for example, what is React. So these kind of article tends to appear on the Google snippets preview, or Google snippets preview. So these are the kind of article that preview on the front page of Google snippets preview. So these are the articles which is considered as an ultimate guide. So yeah, I've prepared one structure on how you can outline this kind of article. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay, if you are planning to write what is kind of an article, so make sure your title is less than 60 character, or less than 8 to 10 words, and your introduction should not exceed more than 200 words. Keep it between 150 to 200 words. What you should cover in those introduction is, okay, what you should cover in the introduction part of that kind of article, of what is kind of article. So what is kind of article has a variation. So which is, when is, who is, why is the variation of the what is article. So introduction title, it's the same 60 character. Keep it between 60 characters. Keep it between 8 to 10 words. And on the introduction bit, keep your words between 150 to 200 words. And on the introduction bit, you need to explain why the topic you are discussing is relevant, and who and what section of the industry it tries to cover it up, and what you'll be talking about in this particular article. So let's say, for example, you are planning to write on what is React, and why use it. So let's say you are planning to write on that particular topic. So you need to explain on the second section, you need to explain about what is React. So this second section, after the introduction, this section is very important for you to explain about that particular topic, about the topic that you are planning to write on. So this is the juice of the article. So go to the second section should cover the entire stuff that you are planning to explain. And on the third stuff, why is, let's say you are writing on what is React. Let's say, why is React important? Give your readers or the viewers more understanding about why that particular stack is important. You need to explain more about why that particular subject is more important. So in the third section, explain more about the importance of that particular subject. And on the fourth section, give a real example. So real example of the website that is built on React. Give an example. Just provide a reader with a few reasons why they should care about the of this particular tech stack. So give a few example of what, where, and how that particular stack of technology is being used. And on the fifth section, you need to explain about the tips and feature of certain tech stack. You need to give some explanation on best way to approach the idea. You can explain the gist. You can give some tips, yeah, and give some advice about this particular stacks of technology, particular stack of technology. And on the conclusion, give a brief conclusion and try to recap on what you did in this particular article. Just just recap it on what you did on the conclusion bit. And references, if you referenced any external article, try to add the links of those articles as well. And on the how to article section, its variation is how is. So for example, these kind of ultimate guide article, let's just then go. These kind of ultimate guides article tends to appear on the Google snippets preview, as I've said earlier. So how to article is also an ultimate guide article. So make your title very precise, concise, make it below 60 character, or 8 to 10 words. And on the introduction bit, keep your introduction between 150 to 200 words. And try to emphasize more on what topics you will be discussing, what you will be covering in this particular article, and what you will be talking about. And the a short list of links to articles that are similar to the one published on other platform or the Aviyel platform as well. Okay, so on the second section, you need to explain about, let's say if you are planning to discuss about how to integrate React with Medusa, how to integrate React with Slipknot, how to integrate React with certain CMS. So if you are planning to write on that, you need to explain on the second section, you need to explain about what you are planning to write on. You need to give a brief definition of both of those stacks of technologies. You need to give a brief overview of what you are planning to explain in this article. So on the second section of how to article, just give a brief overview of what we are planning to cover now. And on the third section is the juice of this article. In the what is article, the second section is the juice of the article. On the how to article, the third section is the juice of the article. So always remember that on the third section, you need to cover the entire stuff, how to integrate. You have to cover the majority of the article, from the basic guide of how you are planning to integrate certain, let's say if you're planning to integrate React with Medusa, you will cover the definition in the second section. On the second section, you will cover what is React and what is Medusa. On the third section, you will straight up jump into the point on how you can integrate. What are the steps that you can integrate? How to, the installation guidelines, the installation screenshots, the installation, the basic, the all the stuff that is the juice of this article that you are currently preparing for. So, what is article? You need to cover the entire stuff in the second section, and on the how to article, you need to cover the juice of the article in the third section. And on the fourth, it's same as the usual, the tips and feature. And on the fifth section, the conclusion. And on the sixth, it's references if you have, sorry, if you're planning to add any references. So let's jump into the listicle bits. So listicle article tends to generate more views because this kind of article is very straightforward, it's very interesting, and is easy to understand. And as you have on the Twitter platform, is the listicle kind of stuff is also popular. For example, 9 JavaScript library, 10 JavaScript libraries, 10 JavaScript courses for free. The listicle kind of list kind of structure is very popular in any platform. So listicle article is very, very popular. If you can hack it, your article might gain millions of views. So for to write a awesome top-notch listicle articles, the title, keep your title between less than 60 characters or between 8 to 10 words. On the introduction bit, keep your introduction 150 to 200 words, and explain on that particular introduction what you will be covering, what are the topics that you will be discussing is relevant to that, and what section and the industry is referring to. So try to explain it on that introduction bit. On the second section, you need to explain, for example, let's say 9 JavaScript libraries top 9 JavaScript libraries. You are planning to write on top 9 JavaScript libraries. So on the second section, on the after introduction, you need to explain about JavaScript, the stuff, the what you are planning to explain in this article. Just a brief overview. What you have already added on the introduction, just make it unique, make it more creative, and just make it more interesting, and don't try to repeat the exact information from the introduction. Just create a brief outline and brief overview of what you are planning to explain it. This will be on the second section of this article. On the third section, we have to explain all the stuff. You have to explain about, let's say, for example, 10 JavaScript front end libraries. Let's say you're planning to write on that. You need to explain about React, Vue, stuff like that. All the stacks of technologies on the third section of these kind of article. So, and once you do that, you just conclude the article with a banger conclusion, and just give a brief overview of what you covered, and finally give the references. Give the references. The the references bit is very important on the listicle article. You need to give references on where you of all these stacks. Try to give more references on the listicle kind of article. And on the case study article, so the case study article is same like how to article. You just need to explain more on the third section. That's it. The case study is same as an how to article. So yeah, just like that, we have covered most of the stuff. And if you have any question, you can jump in and ask to me. I'll pull you up and ask me whatever question you have on your mind. Or you can type it up on Chatter. Okay, can I integrate these tools with Ghost CMS? I see most of them don't include the CMS in their development roadmap. Okay, wait, I didn't get your question. Okay, can I integrate these tools? The tools that I said you is more related to uplift your skills in general. So these are the roadmaps and the guidelines to improve your writing journey or improve your career as a developer. So these are just the roadmaps. Read these tools with CMS. Can you explain more on? I didn't get your question. Okay, what was the question? What roles are available for technical writer? There are lots of roles available for technical writer. You can work on the documentation bit. You can contribute to open source. You can work. There are lots of roles available. You can do freelance stuff. You can become a digital nomad. You can work in any company because there are lots of people hiring to write about their product, to write about their project. For technical writer, if you have ever, for example, if you have ever watched if you have ever watched about read about any browsers, the browsers of certain tech stacks or certain let's say certain mobile. So it is written by a technical writer. So If you want to proceed that way, then there are lots of job available for the technical writer. You can do from freelance to lots of stuff. The people are earning lots of money by being a technical writer alone. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Now the another question is from Kukirat Singh. The title should be in title case or sentence case. I see people debate that title case should not be used, but I feel that title case is used for specific purpose. Writing article title. Yeah, you are exactly right. Um, it's a very controversial topic as well, between title cases and sentence cases. So try to write your title in a sentence case, um, to avoid the controversy alone. And just your title will look like a seamless. It will. So if you capitalize everything, it will just express it. The topic will just express that you are trying to scream it up. So make it more uh, soft, malleable by keeping it in a sentence case. Okay, another question. Do you have any resources slash roadmaps for people just beginning their technical writing journey? Uh, to begin your technical writing journey, I've covered almost 90 to 95% of the stuff. So this workshop is enough to help you get started, help you get boosted on your technical writing journey. So yeah, uh, let's recap, a brief recap. You need to have a basic knowledge of certain tech stack, which you can learn from various tutorial website, various tutorial website like Udemy. You can learn it for absolute free of charge. You can check out the roadmaps that I've shared you on the chat, the public chat, where you can learn about certain tech stacks. And you need to not master, you need to have a basic writing ability. You need to express what you're trying to. mm, you just need to have the ability to vomit out what you have on your mind. The next step is organizational skills. You need to organize your time. You need to organize your um, organize the time that took you to wrap the entire article from the basic, from the researching bit to the end of it, to proofreading. So you need to be have to have a good organizational skills, and the main bit is research. Learn from other. You need to learn from other to write more, because technical writing is not just about writing. It's about learning more. It's about researching more stuff. So 70% of your time you need to spend it on researching, learning from other blogs. You need to research on the papers. You need to learn from any. mm, you can learn from lots of books. Just 70% of your time, spend it on the research alone, and the remaining 30, chunk it down into 15%, just vomiting out your thoughts, and the remaining 15%, proofreading, rereading, revamping, and all the other good stuff, and the adding some visual flares, memes, and all the other good stuff. So yeah. Uh, what is your view on reposting your content on popular blogs like Medium, Freecodecamp, Hackern? to promote reach. I mean, yeah, reposting, yeah. Um, choose one platform to, let's say, if you are, I mean, if you want to reach larger amount of audience, then you need to definitely repost into various platforms. But don't try to repost the same article to multiple different platforms. Just pick one. Pick one in pick one which is on which you are comfortable with, um, on the platform which you have been writing for a long time. Just choose one, and you can, don't try to jumble the same different article in multiple different platforms. Pick one, pick one or two max. That's my views on reposting. Okay, the final question is, I get really uncomfortable proofreading my content after writing, and this makes it hard to find little typo errors. What do you suggest I do? Wait. After writing, I find it really hard to go through the draft again, and this makes it hard to proofread. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Uh, okay, so mm, so for that, you need to be prepared with uh, prepared with every stuff. For example, let's say you wrapped up your article. You need to proofread it yourself before you even submit your article. You need to check out what are the stuff or what are the mistakes that I made, what the review is pending, what kind of revamp should I make before I send the article to re-proofreading it. So you need to be very careful about what the stuff that you did before you submitting it. But if the article you are submitting to certain company, or for example, if you are submitting to Hackathon or Aviyel, you need to follow the guidelines provided by them, because um, you need to, without because company follows their own guideline to they have their own voices, they have their own guidelines, so you need to read those guidelines if you have them, or don't try to go against the rules, don't try to add some bogus stuff, don't try to make your article more complicated. Just follow the rules. If they are cramming up all your content, or if they are um, revamping your content, then try to follow their guidelines. That's the best advice that I can give you. Try to, if you are submitting your article to these kind of companies, then you need to follow their guidelines as well. Yeah. Hope that I answered your question. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. We are done with this workshop. I hope I covered every tits and bits about technical writing journey. Uh, I've said you the draft, I've said you the resources, I've said you the hacks that I use frequently, and hope I answered most of the question, maybe. If you can connect, I will share you the guidelines and the structure outlines and the SEO guidelines. If you can connect me on Discord, social media, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever. Yeah, and just ping me. I'll share you the entire stuff. Yep, I think that's it for this session. So thank you, 1,000 times thank you for everyone for tuning in to this blast session on a Friday night. Uh, yeah, thank you. And just like that, we are ending this session and hope you have a great weekend and a great night. See you on the flip side. Bye bye.